Happy 4th of July, guys. Today we got some interesting soccer news and some blockbuster football news. Let's get into it. Hello, guys, and welcome back to the Cowboy and the Hawk's Nest podcast. It's your host, Aaron, here. Today we'll be covering some interesting news when it pertains to the Emerald City supporters and them sending off the Seattle Sounders to Orlando to play this MLS's back tournament. And we have some absolutely blockbuster free agent news in the NFL. But first, let's start off with some rumors coming out of the Cleveland Browns that they're willing to trade David Njoku, the starting tight end, to Dallas for a player and maybe a pick. Do we need a tight end? No, we don't need a tight end. Blake Jarwin is suitable enough. Would I like David Njoku? Hell yeah, boy. David Njoku is super talented. He's fast, he's tall, he's strong. Not saying that Blake Jarwin isn't, but David Njoku is a whole other monster here. He was a monster at the U, and I might be willing to pass off a Chidobe Awuzie, maybe a 3rd round pick, 4th round pick, something like that. But again, we don't really need him, and I also kind of want to keep Chidobe because our defense is bare bones here, and Chidobe, while being only 5'11", decently short, he's still a key part of this defense and can help teach Trevon Diggs and Reggie Robinson a thing or two when it comes to being a professional. Second piece of news here in the NFL. The NFLPA has unanimously voted for there to be no preseason games. I'm on this decision as a fan because part of the NFL season is the preseason. I personally like watching the preseason games for the Dallas Cowboys and the Seattle Seahawks because I want to see those up-and-comers try and prove themselves in those preseason games to try and get on the roster. Maybe some unheard-of names. I want to see the draft picks and show off what they can do in a game format, but not actually have a meaningful game. I'd love for that to happen. But at least the NFLPA didn't come out with this decision without providing a potential alternative. Via a tweet from Tom Pelissero, an insider from the NFL Network, it says, and I quote, "With the NFLPA still opposed to preseason games, one possible camp schedule the union has discussed is 3 days of medical/equipment, 21 days of strength and conditioning, 10 days of unpadded practice, 14 days of actual practice. Padded. 8 being a max padded. And then they go straight into week 1. I mean, I'm not fretting at them coming out with an alternative because that's a whole lot more helpful than just saying, no, we're just not going to play preseason games. It's a whole lot better because they offered a solution. That's a good way to go through life. Now, for the interesting soccer news. So, the Emerald City supporters lined Fort Dent Way, the street that Starfire Sports Complex resides, the training ground of the Seattle Sounders, and decided to send them off. the buses started leaving and there were smoke flares, blue and green, signs. But the Emerald City supporters are a little bit upset. I'm not sure if I'd say I'm one of them, but I understand where they're coming from. There's been a storied past of the Emerald City supporters not liking the MLS brass when it comes to policies and scheduling things, and they have put out a statement about the team having to go to Orlando when Florida is being a hotbed for new COVID cases. And here is that statement. And I quote, "We encourage fans and supporters of Seattle Sounders FC and all MLS clubs to contemplate the risks being forced upon their teams. The league and their media partners are assuming we will tune in to their broadcasts and other content. Entertainment is not worth the health and careers of the players and teams we support. And we encourage all fans and supporters to reach out to club and league officials and social media outlets to put an end to this dangerous tournament." Brian Schmetzer made his own little speech to the Emerald City supporters group that was there, saying, "I know some of you guys are concerned. I get it. I understand it. It wouldn't be my choice maybe either. But," and now I'm paraphrasing, "we have to go down there. And in normal Seattle Sounders fashion, we're going to do what we've always done. Win Sounders soccer games." I swear, Brian Schmetzer needs to be with the organization, maybe not as manager forever, but executive, or at least honorary executive. Because he knows exactly what to say at the right time. I swear, he's one of the best managers publicly and in the locker room. Now, do I agree with this stance? Schmetzer's, yes. I'm not so sure about the ECS statement. I do agree that the players' careers and health are more important than entertainment, but I can guarantee you that every single one of them wants to play soccer again. They're tired of sitting on their hands and knees. They're tired of Zoom calls. They want to meet with each other and play because they all have that competitive edge in them that is higher than most. I'm telling you, Jordan Morris, Nicolas Ladero, Raul Ruidiaz, they all want to kick some ass and take names later. And if they're doing that, I'm going to watch them. And I'm not necessarily going to go out and contact any club or league officials about it because I'd like to see them. I'm not going to lie. I want to see them. I'm not saying that my entertainment is more important than the players themselves. But damn it, everyone here wants to get to some form of normal. And I am suggesting that bringing sports back in some capacity is the best way to come back to a normalcy. Finally, the biggest blockbuster news of the year in sports and possibly that will be of the next decade. Cam Newton is the new Patriots quarterback. Bill Belichick got to pick a dog for his new starting quarterback. I am 100% interested in the Patriots season now. I don't know, and I don't think that they will win the division. I still think that's the Buffalo Bills. But I'm pretty sure that they are going to do well because of Cam Newton, both throwing and running the football. But Cam Newton himself isn't the most surprising thing about this move. It's the contract that he signed. Cam Newton agreed to a 1-year deal with a base salary of $1.05 million with just $550,000 guaranteed. He can earn another $700,000 per game roster bonus and up to $5.75 million in additional incentives, bringing the maximum value of his contract to $7.5 million. Cam Newton is playing for the New England Patriots for a max of $7 million for 1 year. But Cam Newton put out a statement about the contract. Not a lot of things money cannot buy. But amongst the top of that list of things, you would find respect as one of those. This is not about money for me. It's about respect. That statement tells me that he's changed a little. He's not an egomaniac anymore. Sure, I think he'll still come up with his fancy costumes in interviews, post-game, but settling for that amount of money when you've been a starter for 9 years in the league, damn, that's got to be an ego blow. And to take it with that much respect, damn, I'm respecting Cam Newton more and more. And I'm going to end it off there. Thank you for listening to the Cowboy and the Hawk's Nest podcast. I'm your host, Aaron. Tune in for the following weeks because I'm going to be commenting on hopefully all of the games of the upcoming MLS is Back tournament. And as always, go Hawks. How about them Cowboys? And born in 1974, Sounders. And now we win like never before, Sounders. We love our boys in the famous green, the greatest team that you've ever seen, the Seattle Sounders, born in 74. Have a nice 4th, bitches.